Hello everybody, and welcome to another tier list maker video. This time we're going to be doing all of the Pokemon from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, obviously not including the DLC Pokemon because we don't really know anything about them yet. So, everything pre-DLC. So, I've been playing it again recently, just doing some shiny hunting. Today I got Shiny Donphan and another Shiny Psyduck. I've gotten several shiny Psyducks. Not as many as I've gotten shiny Gibble. I've got 5 shiny Gibble. I'm gonna start giving them away via home trades because I don't have the online membership for the Switch because online memberships for gaming is a scam. Just saying. Anyway, I absolutely love these games, and I love most of the Pokemon that we've gotten from this gen as well. So, as you're going to see, we've got the default tiers that this tier maker comes with, and I've also added in the Dream Team tier, which is going to consist of the 7 members that made up my team, the 6 actual team members, and then of course the legendary I had. So, Sprigatito, S tier. It's adorable. It's an adorable little grass cat. Of course it's going into S tier. Florigato, I think I'm not going to put into... Oh, that's not Florigato. How dare you? Florigato is going to go into S tier as well. I think it's actually my favorite of the Sprigatito line. I think it's a very well put together design. It has a lot of personality. It's very cute. I don't really care that it stands upright. I don't really mind if a Pokemon stands upright. I think the only time I cared is with the fire starter, where it's like, let them be quadruped for once, which we finally got. And I don't know why Quaxley is in front of Skeledirge. I'm just now noticing that. I didn't do that. But, Meowscarada, A tier. I like it. I like it a lot more than whenever I first saw it, but not my favorite out of that line. Poikoko, S tier. Adorable. I love it. Crocolore, also S tier. It got a hat that's actually a nest for its bird friend. And Skeledirge goes onto the Dream Team. I named mine Tok, after the Ruby character, who is a crocodile faunus. It's got so much going on with its design that it's very, very, very difficult to even start to talk about it. There's so much going on with the design, and I love it. Quaxley, S tier. It's adorable, and it has a really good personality. Quaxwell, that is not Quax. I don't know why you do this. I clicked on Quaxwell. Why did you go for the mouse? Quaxwell is decent. I don't hate it. That's why it's going into A tier, because I do really like it. But it's really not as good as either of the other two in its line. Speaking of, Quaquaval goes in S tier. Very fun personality. The dancing is really fun. I like the design. The royal blue is a very, very good addition to the Pokemon. Lechonk. Can Lechonk go anywhere other than S tier? Come on. I don't think I would ever actually use one as a part of a playthrough team, but it's perfect. Oinkologne. A tier. Both the male and female variants are very, very good. Not as good as Lechonk. Tarantula? A tier. It's cute. And I like it shiny a lot. I like the Oinkologne and the Lechonk shinies too. Spidops. B. I'm going to put it in B. It creeps me out. And I know that that's the purpose and that honestly should put it higher. But it creeps me out a little too much to where I almost don't like how creepy it is. The way that it'll just hang on a tree and then jump at you, or the way that it scuttles across the ground. Whenever it's doing its like spy walk, I like that. But also a good shiny. Nimble, B tier. It's cute, but that's all it has going for it. Low Kicks, S tier. I've really started to like Low Kicks a lot more recently. It has a very cool design. I like the personality. I just like the way that it moves as well. I'm not really one for like the Sentai genre aside from Godzilla, really. So it's more in the way of like Kamen Rider. But I've never partaken in watching anything Kamen Rider. So, Palmy. Okay, A tier. It's cute, but it doesn't have much going for it. I like that it's the first Pika clone line that evolves, but I'm convinced that they told them, yes, you can make a Pika clone line evolve, but you cannot make it change all that much so that it's basically the same Pokemon all 3 times. So Palmo and Palmot go into C tier because they're just not as good. Wooper. It's S tier. It can't go anywhere else because it's Wooper. And it's Poison Ground, which is a typing I've been wanting them to use again since Gen 1, because that's the last time we got one. And Clodsire goes up there too, because it's just a chunky creature with spikes coming out of its back. It's wonderful. Tanomouse, A tier. It's cute. It's kind of all it has going for it, I think. Now, in terms of Mousehold, I just think the fact that this Pokemon... S tier, because the fact that this Pokemon's evolution method is just actual reproduction is hilarious. I also love the name Mousehold. I'm not putting both versions. I don't need to put both versions. We don't have both versions of Dudunsparce or Oinkologne on here. We do for the Tauros. I don't know what the metric was for this. Fido. S tier. It's cute. It has a perfect name. I like it. Most of them are going into S or A tier, by the way. Dachshund. Also S tier. It's also adorable. And has a perfect pun name. Smoliv. A tier. It's really cute. Dolive. D tier. It's very underwhelming. Arboliva. A tier. Makes up for Dolive. I will say, I wish, and I was hoping for this, that they would have kept with the meme name. It's Smoliv, because it's small. So why don't we have it where, when it evolves, you take the M in Smoliv, which stands for mini, and you flip it around to W for Wumbo, and then it's Swoliv, and then it changes out the normal type for a fighting type. That's what I was hoping for. And instead, Dolive, which leaves a lot to be desired, and Arboliva, which ends up making up for Dolive for the most part. Squawkabilly, I'll put into C tier. I don't really care about it. I like the concept and I like the name, but that's about it. I don't really care about actually having it. Knackley, S tier. It's cute and I love the name. Knacklestack, same principle. Like the design, like the name. Garganacl goes into the Dream Team. Garganacl is my favorite Pokemon of the new generation. It's so unabashedly clever. So it is a gargantuan salt gargoyle. That's the name etymology. So obviously they all have the Knackle, which is sodium chloride, the chemical makeup for what salt is. And then it has the purifying salt ability, where it doesn't take any of the status conditions, and it only has half the damage from ghosts. That is perfect for the way that salt is deemed to treat things like the supernatural. It's like if you put down a line of salt, then the dark entities cannot pass it. That's what's really cool. And that's also why it ties into gargoyles, because gargoyles are put onto buildings to keep the dark entities away. Just like the salt. It's so clever, and I love it. And I love the salt cure move, too. I love everything about it. It is the best, absolute best. And I got a shiny of it. And I have it shiny. I didn't even have to evolve it. I was in Area 0 and I found the Garganacl shiny. It was amazing. Oh, I loved it. Annihilate, S tier. I didn't think that Primeape needed an evolution, but I am so glad that it got one. And that it's fighting Ghost type too. It got so mad that it died. And then it was mad that it died, so it came back to life out of sheer rage that it died. And fighting Ghost is a really fun typing. I'm not a huge Marshadow fan. I think it's cute, but very underwhelming. This is a lot more like what I want out of a Ghost fighting type. Charcadet. Cute, but just A tier. Armarouge, and Cerulege both go into S tier. They're the Blake and Yang of this game. A yellow-themed brawler with gauntlets and fire? That's Yang. A dark, indigo, double sword-wielding creature of the night? That's Blake. It's Yang and Blake. Of course they're going to S tier. Tadbulb is very underwhelming. It goes into C tier, and it has a really bad shiny that I can never find. Bellibolt, S tier. Bellibolt is so much better. I will say, I really feel like there should have been a Pokemon in between. The jump from Bellibolt to, or from Tadbulb to Bellibolt, it just feels too much. It feels like too much of a jump. I feel like there should have been another Pokemon in between there. Wattrel? Yeah, I like it. It's pretty cool. Kilowattrel I like a little bit more, so it's going to S tier. I do think that they need better shinies. But man, they're cool. The Dunsparce. Dream Team member right there. When I looked at the leaks for the game, since I wasn't sure when I was going to get to play the game, I went ahead and looked at what all the new Pokemon were, and when I saw the Dunsparce, I'm like, why didn't they change anything? And I didn't like it at first. And I decided, you know what, for the meme, I'm going to put it on the team. It's going to go on the team for the meme. And then I started getting attached to it. And then I realized, wait a minute, being underwhelming is kind of Dunsparce's whole thing. That's the name pun, is that it's a dud. It's supposed to be underwhelming. Changing it would have ruined the point. Like, I don't understand the whole, like, everyone wanting this, like, dragon-type evolution to Dunsparce, and it's like, why? That ruins the point of what Dunsparce is. And also, if it was gonna get a second typing, surely it would be ground, because it digs, right? Where did dragon come from? Just because it's a snake with wings? I have 2 shiny to Dunsparce, but neither of them are 3-segment. I do have a 3-segment, but it's normal. But also, this thing was a help. This thing did help on the team, especially with Rhyme's Gym. It was a real help to have a normal type that was immune. It was a real help. I liked it. I like using it. I named the Garganical Knucklehead, like a knucklehead, but it's a knuckle. And I named the Dunsparce Lord, because Bidoof? Nah. Arceus? Nah. Mudkip? Mm-mm. The Dunsparce is our new Lord and Savior. Girafarig, S tier. Very cool design, and I really like that. Did I say Girafarig? I meant Farigiraf. I'm pretty sure that I just said Girafarig for the evolution. I like that Girafarig finally got a much-needed evolution in Farigiraf. I have no idea if I said Girafarig just then. I really feel like I did. I'm going to be mad when I go in to edit this and find out if I did or not. And if I did, Mastiff, B tier. Mabostiff goes into S tier, though, because of the Arven story. Yeah. Shroodle, why does it exist? It goes into D tier. Grafaiai really just feels like a standalone. It doesn't feel... it has, I feel like it has too much to give it an evolution, but I also feel like it doesn't have enough to warrant a Prevo existing, so I don't think Strudel needs to exist. Grafaiai, though, S tier. I like it. I'm only going to put one of the Tauros. I'm only going to put one of the Paldean Tauros. B tier. It's okay. I don't really think I understand why there's a fire-type variant and a water-type variant. I understand why there's fighting, and I understand that there had to be a Tauros in the Spain region. I just don't understand the two variants, and also the shinies are unacceptably bad. There are so many bad shinies of this gen, and I don't understand why. I don't know who was out here approving shinies that barely change, but I don't think they need to be working there anymore. Just saying. Bramblin. Bramblin's pretty cool, but Bramblegast is better. It's also just a fun concept of a haunted tumbleweed. Toadscool and Toadscruel both go into S tier. There's no other place for them. The one is running, and the other's jumping. They're going to get you one way or another. They also both have killer shinies. Cluff! S tier. Goofy little rock crab. I almost lost this shiny. I was looking and looking, and I went to do a picnic reset. I accidentally clicked on the online play option instead that's right below. And I'm like, that's not what I meant to click. Did I just see blue? Wait a minute. Back out. There it is. Shiny Cloth in the distance. I was that close to picnic resetting on a Shiny Cloth. I would have been so mad. I love that shiny, and I love that I got one. It's such a satisfying shiny. Capsicus! C tier. It's not great. I don't hate it, but I feel like it could be better. Scovillain, A tier. I like it a lot. Very obvious concept. Very fun name. Relor. Okay, I love both of the names, Relor and Rabska. They're both perfect names. Relor gets to go here because it is kind of just a dung beetle. But whenever we get Rabska is whenever it gets to be really, really, really cool. I like that. I like that one a lot. Flittle. I was looking for this shiny for so long. Couldn't find it. Not until I was doing a Stonjourner outbreak, trying to find a much more noticeable shiny. All of a sudden, Flittle with a green skirt pops up. I immediately turned it into a Spathra because I'm not keeping a shiny that's bad. Just well, I do have two Scyther. I don't know how, but both times with the Scyther I was able to pinpoint that it was a shiny. Don't know how. But that's also not a good shiny. Flittle doesn't have a good shiny. Spathra, S tier. Very, very cool. Very funky. This is another situation. There should have been another one in between. There should have been another one in between. Or Flittle could have had a different design. I guess same kind of goes for Tadbulb, but I think I like the concept of Tadbulb's design too much to want to say that it should change. There should just be another one in between Tadbulb and Bellibolt. And Flittle and Espathra either should have one in between, or Flittle needs a massive overhaul in its design. Tink-a-Tink is A tier because it's cute, but it's not as good as Tinka-Tough. Because that one's great, but that's not as cool as Tinkaton, which was on the Dream Team, named Nora, because it's just Nora as a Pokemon. It's a short, pink, chaotic gremlin with a hammer. That's just Nora. The only thing it's missing is the electric type, which I added to mine with the Terra types. And I named it Nora. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. I love Tinkaton. I love this chaotic gremlin. Now to talk about stuff I don't love, though. Yeah, hot dog water garbage. Yeah, they look like hot dogs in the water. Why are we giving Diglett and Dugtrio forms? They aren't good designs to begin with. Now, Wiglet and Wugtrio do the concept of the design significantly better because they look like garden eels, as opposed to Diglett and Dugtrio, which do not even remotely resemble moles. But it's not a good design concept in the first place. Phenomenal shinies that I want to get at some point. Really bad Pokemon, though. Despise. They should not exist. We introduced this gimmick of Pokemon that look like other Pokemon but are actually entirely different species. It's like, oh, are we going to do this with really cool looking Pokemon like Nidoking or Rhyhorn? No, we're doing it with Diglett and Dugtrio. Bombardier, A tier. Fun design, fun concept, also a chaotic gremlin. Finizen, B tier. So, I feel like Finizen doesn't need to exist. I put it in B tier because it's cute, and I can't fully hate it because we finally got a dolphin, but I feel like it doesn't need to exist. Because I feel like doing this concept works... it works a lot better not doing it that way, because the fact that it evolves and it's just the same but with a heart until you do the switch out thing is weird. I don't like it. I also don't like that the evolution method requires you to go online. That should change. And so should, I didn't mention this for any of them, so should the 1,000 steps in Let's Go. That is just ridiculous. That needs to be nerfed. I don't want it removed because I think that's a fun way to evolve them. It just needs to be nerfed. 500, 250, just not 1,000. I haven't been able to evolve my shiny Rellor because even though I did the exact same method of running around the Lavincia circle, haven't been able to evolve the Rellor because of that. I despise that method. But being online, like, oh, you want to evolve your Pokemon? Pay. No, I told you. The online memberships for gaming are scams. Don't do them. PC gaming, you're allowed to be online so long as it's a feature of the game because you paid for it with the game. Not on console, apparently. Apparently you have to have a membership that allows it. And no, if PC can do it, you can too, console. Come on now. It doesn't apply to things like hardware stuff, obviously. But that's obviously something that they could do, and they're just intentionally not doing it. I don't think that Finizen needs to exist, because Palafin can just exist and then turn into the superhero form, just without the necessity to evolve it. Varoom! Very fun. But the evolved form, Revavroom, that's not what I clicked on. This is what I clicked on. I don't know why you insist on doing that. Revavroom is better. Not by much, but it's better. Cyclizar. It's cute. I like it. I like that it was something where it's like, how is this going to be connected to the legendaries? And I like it. I like it quite a bit. I don't like that you can't switch out your ride, though. I don't like that you're restricted to your box art. I feel like you should be allowed to switch to Cyclizar and whatever legendary you didn't have originally. Orthworm S. I love this goofy thing. I love the little neck arm things that it has. It's like Muppet face. It's great shiny. I didn't even have to do the full shiny hunt. I was in the middle of massacring the other Orthworm whenever it decided to show up. I love it. Glimmet. See, because it doesn't do anything for me. Glimora goes all the way up to A, but I feel like I'm hindered because I don't fully understand what this Pokemon is supposed to be. I'm really waiting on that Loxton video for Glimmet and Glimora because I feel like it's going to increase my opinion once I learn what they're supposed to be. I'm totally lost. Houndstone. Or Grievard, rather. The other one's Houndstone. But both of them are going up here. I can't believe they've somehow made a dead dog cute. But they did. Cute ghost Pokemon. Well, the evolved form is more creepy than it is cute, but that's exactly why I like it. Flamigo. Another Dream Team member. This is the last one that I actually put on the team, though. Whenever I was planning the team, I had everyone else figured out, and then I'm like, what am I going to put for the last one? I wanted the team to be entirely new Pokemon, obviously. And when I got to the last one, I just decided to put Flamigo. Now I'm attached to it. I don't know why it's fighting type, per se, but it is busted. It is busted. I love it. It is great. It's very goofy, too. I named it Glamigo because it's a glamorous Flamigo. Also, the name is so perfect. A Flamingo Amigo, and it just looks like you forgot the N in Flamingo. It's great. Totodile and Titan both go into S tier. One's very cute, one is badass. And the shiny, oh my, I was in the middle of the egg hunt when shiny Totodile showed up. I hate doing the egg hunts, but it's like, I also hate shiny hunting on the Snowy Mountain. So I'm like, I'll just do the egg hunt. And the egg hunt ended up, while I was doing the running around, I ended up running up the mountain, and I'm like, that one's gray. There it is, right as I'm trying. Turns out none of the eggs that I had were going to be shiny anyway, so as I hatched them all after the fact. Veluza, Volton Veluza. I'm going to go into A tier, because I don't fully love it quite yet, but it is really good. And the phrase Volton Veluza is so good. King Gambit, you're going into A tier. So, Bisharp is another one where I'm like, I didn't think that it needed one, but it also makes sense that they would give it another one, because the Bishop isn't the highest you can go. It makes sense they would go for the King. It's just, it might be a little overcomplicated in its design, and I feel like the Shiny should replace... The Shiny replaces most of the red with blue, but it doesn't replace all of it, and I think it would look better if the remaining red was changed to blue. And God, I don't like its name. King Gambit. I get what you're going for, but it just doesn't flow well. Because you have two stressed syllables, one right after another. I did like the idea of like flipping it around and doing Gambit King, because that has the bounce to it that you want in a word. So it's stressed, unstressed, stressed. Gambit King instead of King Gambit. One flows well, the other one doesn't. Dondozo. It just gets to go into S tier. It's just very good. Very goofy. Very nice shiny that I also spent a while getting, because water hunts are the bane of my existence in this game. Tatsugiri. S tier. Very fun. I like the different variants. I have 2 of the 3 shinies currently for that one. Very, very fun. Great Tusk. Okay, almost all the Paradox forms are going into S tier, but Great Tusk, well, almost all of the past ones anyway. Future ones, It just made sense that if you were going to do Paradox forms based on the past, that you would do one for the elephant so that you would have a woolly mammoth. I don't know that that's woolly though, but it is a mammoth, and it is fantastically designed. Got 2 of those shinies as well, which were painful hunts, but worth it. Screamtail, A tier. I wasn't huge on it at first, but it's grown on me. It's fun. Vampire Jigglypuff. Brute Bonnet, A S tier. Fixes all of the things that are weird about Amoonguss. It just adds in an additional flair. I don't even remember what you're called. Fluttermane. B tier. I like that attention is being given to Mischievous, but Slitherwing, S tier. It looks really cool for one thing, and also the fact that it stands up whenever it gets into battle is really cool. Whenever I first saw that, I thought that it had like a very similar shape to like Duraludon. It just kind of felt like it was the same shape. Sandy Shocks. I'm gonna put it here because I really wish that the shiny was more noticeable. It should be a more vibrant gold. So I'm actually taking it down a peg because of its shiny, but it's a really fun idea that should not exist, but man, do I love it. Iron Treads, B tier, because you're cool, but you're not as cool as the others. Delibird. Iron Bundle gets to go into A tier. Not quite S tier, but A tier. For what if Delibird was good? Basically, that's what I really like about Pokemon gimmicks, where we get to revisit Pokemon that aren't as good or as popular and make them better. And that's a good example. Iron Hands, I like Iron Hands. It is just like all the future Paradox Storms is just what if but robot. And I know that there's the counterpoint of, well, the past forms are all what if but feral, and it's like they do a little bit more variety in the design with the past forms that the future forms are very much lacking. Iron Jugulus, I'm actually putting all the way down here. It is my least favorite Paradox form. I don't think that Hydreigon translates to robot well much at all. It should, because, you know, King Ghidorah and Mecha King Ghidorah, but no, it just doesn't. Iron Moth, I'm going to put into S tier. Both of the Volcarona ones are really, really good. And Iron Moth, the wings, the way that they're positioned and the way that they move around, it very much reminds me of Penny's floating array from Ruby. I like that a lot. I like that aspect of the design. They're very satisfying, very geometric. I like it. And Iron Thorns also gets to go up there. See, the Mecha Godzilla worked. The Mecha King Ghidorah didn't. And I'm not entirely sure why. Now, are you Arctibax or Frigibax? The only one of these I remember is the final one. But here. I understand why it looks the way that it does, because it kind of mixes Manila and Godzilla Jr., but it's just not cute. Then we have the other one, which I'm going to put into A tier. It looks like Zilla because of the way that it stands. And I like that. But as for Max Caliber, Dream Team member for sure. I named him Godzilla because he's ice type and is Godzilla. Also, of course, I was going to go for the Godzilla one. Come on. I've already talked about how excited I am for like the Godzilla ERB, which they released a teaser and it looks like Heisei Godzilla is going to be there instead of the Shin that was originally teased, which anyway, I'll be reacting whenever it finally comes out. But Gimme Ghoul A tier because I think it's cute. Goldango I'm gonna put into S tier. I don't know that I dislike the evolution. It's very tedious to do. But I like the reasoning, and also it's just something about the gradual number increasing of how many coins you have that's very satisfying. Also, it's so goofy. I love the comparison that it is the cinnamon dude from Applejacks. I love that. It's so funny. Wo Chien. Okay, I think all these do. No. Wo Chien's the only one that I'm going to put at S tier. But I do love all four of the Ruinous ones. Wo Chien is easily my favorite, though. I can't really explain why. It just is. I just think that it has just the best vibe of the bunch. Whereas Chenpao, Tinglu, and Chiyu will all go into A tier, also being very good Banana School. They all have a very Shadow of the Colossus vibe. to the way that they have this like body mixed with an inorganic object. Except for them, the inorganic object is their body, which I guess for them makes it organic by their point of view. Roaring Moon, S tier. Phenomenal. Phenomenal paradox form. Love it. Iron Valiant, A tier. Also really good. I like the mix of Gardevoir and Galate. I really wish that there was a past version that did that. Is like the idea, because like that's basically the idea of like the Gardevoir and Galate combined into one thing. Well, what about a past paradox form that's basically like, what if two species split off into two different things? That would have been really cool, and we just didn't get it. That also, I guess, depends on what your point of view is on the paradox forms of whether or not they're actually from the past or future. Koraidon, Dream Team member, because Scarlet all day, baby. And just have the better paradox forms. We do. I will say that technically I think Koraidon and Miraidon are the same. I do think that they're actually equally cool. But you weren't on the Dream Team, sir. You just weren't. Miraidon is really what I wish the future paradox forms would have strived to be like. Because you can tell that it's related to Cyclizar, but it's not just Cyclizar as a robot the way all of the others are just their Pokemon as robots. So, there's the tier list. I don't know if I'm going to redo this when the DLCs come out, but I'm already liking the new Pokemon that we're seeing, especially those names. Okidogi, Monkey Dory, and Fezandipity. It's so silly. I love it. They're so good. What's the other one? Ogerpon? I don't even know what I'm looking at with that thing. But it looks fun. And Terapagos, which people have been saying looks like it's shaped like Paldea, which if it's actually Paldea itself, that's going to be terrifying. Terrifying. That's not funny. There's the tier list. It's almost 1 a.m. I need to sleep. But I wanted to do this video, so. There's the tier list. There's what is, as per my death battle reaction of one of the comments I got on, and apparently me having an opinion means I'm saying that it's objectively fact. So, Arbiter of Truth's opinion on what the Gen 9 Pokemon are like. So, you heard it here first. You can't argue with this. This is just what the opinion is, according to that person that left that comment. Until next time. All the algorithm stuff, like, comment, subscribe. And I will see you when I see you.